That was quick. All right, so today I figured I'm kind of over single flavor testing for now. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I figured today we do some mixing of actual recipes. And I was inspired last night because when I was at bowling, I had it's called Bliss or something. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a common thing or if it's just for my bowling alley. They made it up. I don't really know. But they called it Bliss. And it's like a mango, vodka, grenadine, and 7-Up. There might be some other things in there. I'm not entirely sure, but that's mainly what you get from it. I don't know if I'm going to go for the whole vodka aspect of it because the only one flavor that is flavored like that is not great, at least not to me. Or maybe I just don't really like vaping alcoholic stuff or flavored things. Not entirely sure, but I don't know. I figured I would give it a go. I do have an idea of how to make it. Mute that. An idea how to make it alcoholic without having to add actual vodka. Because, I mean, once it's all mixed together, me personally, I don't really get exactly like which alcohol it is, just that it's alcohol if it's mixed well, like with like prominent flavors. Anyway, so I figured I would do that, and then I would also try to do a mojito from scratch. There are a couple of mojito flavors that are just all together already. TFA, Flavor West, there could be others. And those are okay. I forget which one I prefer. There's one that I prefer over the other because of the lime note. The lime note in one of them is a little bit kind of soapy-ish. So yeah, I figured I would try to build one of those from scratch because that's one of my favorite alcoholic beverages is a mojito. So we're going to start off with the mango one. So as a mango base, I was going to do Flavora mango because that's one of my favorite mango flavors. However, I haven't used mango juice from Vape Train yet, and I've heard it's a really good mango and it smells really good. So I figured it would give me an excuse to use that flavor. I also grabbed Vape Train's Shisha Mango just in case I need an extra boost of that flavor or need extra sweetness for it. Because typically Shisha flavors tend to be a little bit sweeter. So instead of just adding straight up sweetener, which I do try to avoid, I prefer to use flavors that are just inherently sweet already. So we're going to use the Vape Train mango juice. Then to boost up the texture and the flavor of a mango, I'm going to use a peach. They pair really nicely together. I'm going to use Mullenberry's Nectar Peach because it's one of the few peach flavors that I don't get a harsh throat hit from. But you can use whatever peach you have and prefer. Like I'm sure TFA Juicy Peach would be fine. Then grenadine from Capella because I don't really know of another grenadine flavor. And there is grenadine in that drink. Then for the booze note, I figured I would use Flavor West Pink Champagne. It's a nice, non-offensive champagne-ish flavor. It's got like that little bit of a wine note. And it does have a little bit of a fizziness to it. And then also, I almost forgot about this. There is like a 7-Up base for the mango beverage. There's actually 7-Up in both varieties, or at least that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use Flavora Citrus Soda, which is a really nice 7-Up type flavor. So we're going to start off with those 5 flavors, and then if I need to add things, I will. As far as how my weekend's going, it's going okay. Friday was not great. Actually, the last week and a half has been a bit of a struggle. Like last weekend, I had every intention of going on Fresh's show because it was my week to go. But I just woke up feeling awful and just I didn't want to subject myself or anyone to the way that I was feeling that day. Just a lot of little bad luck crap going on. And it's not just me. It's like it seems to be everyone I know or around me is just having really bad luck. And it's just very annoying and frustrating. Yesterday was a little bit better, even though I was woken up at 5 a.m. by Miss Blue, who then proceeded to keep me awake. Mind you, I didn't go to bed until probably 1, if not later in the morning. So I only had a few hours of sleep. Then I had to take my car in because Friday I noticed that my tire was flat. So I had to get that taken care of. It was completely flat. Then came back, did Fresh's show, and then had like an hour nap before I had to go bowling because I am on my league. League started yesterday. And then I thought I would be completely passed out by the time I got home because I was so tired. But then I was awake until like, it was at least 3 a.m. So I don't know. I'm a bit tired and I look it, but it is what it is. I feel more rested than I did yesterday. So at least that's something. Yeah, Saluba Rome is not a flavor company that I have access to. Most people in the US don't. I mean, you have access to it, just not easy access to it. Bull City Flavors had a lot of the Saluba Romes, and then they got rid of them. And I'm pretty sure that flavor wasn't one of them anyway. DIY Vapor Supply might have it. They seem to have pretty much everything, especially the more obscure flavors. But I don't make orders with them very often. And the Capella Grenadine is fine. It's just the only real one that I was aware of. And I'll tell you percentages. I'm plugging them in right now, what I plan to do. So this is going to have 5 flavors to start. You might, like I said, add more if like one note is more prominent than the other. So I'm fine with it being like tasting the peach in it because I like peach. But the main note is supposed to be mango. But this is really just inspired by the drink. So starting out, we're going to just do 0.5% of grenadine in my Capella. I just want a little bit of that sweetness and that redness that comes from grenadine. I don't want it to be too overdone though. We're going to do 1% citrus soda by Flavora for like the base 7-Up type flavor. Do 2% of the Nectar Peach by Mullenberry, 1% of Mango Juice by Vape Train, and then 1% Pink Champagne by Flavor West to add a booziness to the mixture. And we'll see how that goes. I haven't gotten any new flavors in because I have a couple. I guess that's not accurate. I kind of forgot I made a small order around last holiday, Memorial Day or Labor Day. I always get those two mixed up, whichever one that was recent. I did get some flavors there. I don't know if I went over what I got. A lot of it was like re-upping flavors that either had gone bad or I needed more of. And I don't know how many that I've mixed from that order to like tell you how they are or whatever. I just haven't really been doing single flavor tests at all. My taste buds are still not quite right. Because when we did the show yesterday on Fresh's channel, I did a POG, which is, what is that? Passion fruit, orange juice, and guava. And I feel like it should have tasted good, but I was having issues tasting like all the different notes, and it could just be that the mix wasn't good. But I feel like at this point, I've been mixing so long, I should know kind of what to expect. And like I said, I've been having issues tasting forever now. So I feel like that's what it is. Or it could be the orange juice, because I don't like a lot of orange flavorings. I find them to be harsh and just very acidic and just not something that I like to vape. But unfortunately, it's POG, so it's literally in the name. Can't really omit that. But I'm going to let it sit. Sometimes the more acidic flavors need just like a couple days to calm down. So I'll revisit it, but that one, it didn't taste like it should have in my head. And then the other one, I did a strawberry cream-ish type thing inspired by Rasta Blood by Fusion Vapor, which is a very good flavor, by the way. At least I've heard it is. I've had Roundhouse, which is it's like Rasta Blood. The only difference is Rasta has that herbal note added to it, but literally everything else is the same. So since I know what Roundhouse tastes like, I feel like I kind of know what Rasta Blood tastes like. At least that's kind of what I was basing, replicating it from. But it's a very unique strawberry and cream, because I mean there are like 5,000 of those type of profiles out there, but I've tried a bit of them and mixed a bit of them, but theirs does taste unique. It tastes like those strawberries and cream saver things, the hard candies that are just really good. It's got a nice sweet cream and then the strawberry. And I came really close to cloning it, or what I thought was cloning it, and then I lost the recipe. Like I literally had it copied like at least 2 different places and managed to lose both of them. So that was great. And I've tried to like go off memory of what I thought it was, and it just was never the same. So I don't know. I did that. And again, I felt like it should have been a lot better than what I was tasting. And I think maybe part of where I kind of screwed up and probably shouldn't have done it, I did add raspberry. And someone in chat did state that like whenever they add raspberry, it just kind of takes over everything, which I could kind of see. But I felt like if maybe I just did it really, really low, it wouldn't be as noticeable. But it's literally all I could really taste. I didn't get much of any of the strawberry, which was definitely not what I was going for. But strawberry is specifically one of the flavors that I'm having issues tasting. So it could just be that. I don't know. I might have someone else that I know who vapes try it to see what they get from it. And that's also steeping because there is a lot of cream in it. So I don't know. Me trying to be optimistic that both my mixes didn't, weren't crap, I guess. But lately I've been vaping a lot of mint. Like I came up with a peppermint cream mixture thing. And I've just been vaping that for like last month. Because it's like the only thing that I know I can at least, if not get a taste from, at least get the effect of the mint and the cooling from it. If I can't do that, then I don't know what I'll do. Like if that, just like I go blind to that on top of everything else, I might just have to hang up my flip-flops, because at that point, what the hell am I going to do? I also might do a tobacco today if we have time, depending on how quickly I go through these, because I do tend to rant and ramble too much. I don't want to be on here super long. But we might do a tobacco just because I haven't done a tobacco mix, like an actual recipe, in a while. And with all this crap going on, maybe I can mix a tobacco that someone would like that maybe they wouldn't think otherwise. Because I feel like, and again, this might just be me being stubborn or however you want to call it. I feel like the people that say that they hate tobacco e-liquid just haven't had the right one, because not all of them are going to taste exactly like, actually a lot of them just don't taste like an actual cigarette. They don't. They taste, I don't know, I guess more of like how they smell before they're lit, if that makes sense. And maybe they just don't want to be reminded of them in any way. That could be very well be it. But there are a lot of tobacco flavorings out there and cigar flavorings that don't, to me, remind me of any of that. They're just, unique in the way that they taste. Like they don't taste like fruits, they don't taste like desserts. They just have their own taste to them, but they don't necessarily remind me of tobacco, if that makes any sense. So I don't know. But we'll see if we have time for that. I was thinking, speaking of coffee, you reminded me. I need to write ideas that I have down because a lot of times I think I'll remember them and then I don't. I wanted to do a coffee tobacco with like some cream in it, something along those lines. So not like a straight up tobacco, but like a tobacco heavy coffee cream blend. I know I've been neglecting chat, but like I'm very easily distracted. I don't look tired because I put my glasses on. I looked at the I looked at the viewfinder and I'm like, oh no. See, the lovely thing about glasses, and I'm, totally like giving away secrets, they hide dark circles really well and like the tired expression, feeling, whatever. That's a lot of the reason you see me, because like I can see perfectly fine. I can't see far away, but I can see my monitor that's like inches in front of me perfectly fine. I wear my glasses because they hide my shame and fatigue. But I'm glad it doesn't look like that to you. But I am tired, but I'm pretty much always tired. Anyway, I haven't gone to the range lately. Again, we started leagues, which is normally the time I would go to the range. Because the thing is I can only go on the weekend. And my brother can only go on Saturday. And I like to go with him. And the prime time to go on a Saturday is kind of like in the evening, the early evening. Because closer to when they close, it gets packed. And I don't like going anywhere where it's just packed with people. It's just uncomfortable to me. Plus, the range that we typically go to doesn't have air conditioning apparently, and it was really hot when we were going regularly, and it was miserable the last time we went because I don't like being hot. Like even in winter, I have the fan on. Like I need the air circulation and like the coolness, and they didn't have any of that going on. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not going to pay to be miserable. But yeah, with league going on, that's kind of been my focus. Bowling has been my focus. But I do want to go back. I'll have to talk to my brother because he did mention it last time, a couple weeks ago, that we hadn't gone in a while. Because I'm usually the one that asks him if he wants to go. Anyway, we're going to move on to mojito. So if you don't know what a mojito is or what it consists of, it is mint leaves. Like you crush the mint leaves in like a mortar and pestle. I think that's what it's called. I actually have one over there. Lime or lime juice, sugar, ice, white rum, club soda. You can use 7-Up though. It works perfectly fine, especially since the lime is already going to be in it. And I don't know if there's really a flavoring out there that's just like carbonation with no flavor, like a club soda type thing. And if there were, I would imagine it's probably gross. So we're just going to use 7-Up. It'll work perfectly fine. That's about it. So what I'm going to use for this is Vape Train Light Rum. This is a really nice rum. Another one is the, I don't know if it's on. I'm going to see if it's on Bull City because I haven't ordered this flavor in a long time. And I actually think if Bull City carries it, I'm going to buy it next time I do an order with them. Because Vaping Zone, I don't know if they're still around. But back when I first started mixing, they were pretty big, especially with their tobacco flavors. Well, apparently the same brand that they used, which they called vapes, it was just Vaping Zone Super Concentrates. They're the same as the Super Concentrates from Bull City. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's confirmed, accurate, but that's the rumor. So far, I'm not seeing that flavor though. Yeah, but it's called Vanilla Rum. It was very good. It's probably my favorite that exists of a rum flavor, but we're just going to use Vape Train light rum. It's pretty good. I've heard the dark rum is not though, so be mindful of that. We're also going to try Mullenberry Fresh Mint. It's supposed to be more of like an herbal mint leaf opposed to like a gum or Listerine, although it smells kind of like gum, which is not what I want, but you kind of have to go with what I have. I think I have Inawera. I have a couple of Inawera mints. So if worst comes to worst, we might just try one of those too. Then we're going to use, for limes, we're going to use Persian lime. And then if I need to boost it or sweeten it, I also brought up Vape Train Shisha lime. And then for the sugar, we're going to use sugarcane from Vape Train. So this is going to be very Vape Train heavy. The only flavor that's not so far is the Mullenberry mint. And I don't know if Vape Train makes a whole lot of mints, if any. Not that I was purposefully doing all Vape Train. It's just kind of the way it turned out. So that's what we're going to start out with. If we need to, again, add the extra shisha lime for the sweetness and extra boost of lime flavor, we'll add that. But I feel like, oh, and then we'll use the citrus soda again from Flavora. So there's another brand. But I feel like the citrus soda, having the lime in it inherently, and then the Persian lime on top of that, I feel like that should be enough. But just in case, I grabbed it because the shisha lime from Vape Train is good. It's like a slurpy or slushy kind of lime syrup flavor. We're going to go fairly light on the rum. We're going to start off at 0.5%. I'm very sensitive to like alcohol notes, and I don't want it to be too heavy. And when you drink a mojito, it's not like super strong, at least if it's mixed right. Then citrus soda, we're going to keep it at 1. And Persian lime, we're going to do 0.5%. And then fresh mint, that's going to be, so the average is 1.5, which is fairly high. I am going to do a 0.25 because we can always add. It's harder to dilute once it's in its pure form or completed form. And then sugarcane from Vape Train, 0.5%, because it is a fairly sweet. It's not super sweet. It's more of like a refreshing, but there is definitely that sweetness in there. 0.5% should be fine because citrus soda is a little bit sweet on its own. So that's 5. So I guess the theme today is 5 flavors. We'll see if it stays that way. I have my little crock pot thing going on to like warm it up. So actually what I'll do is I'll pull. It's hot. Yeah, don't touch hot things. I'm going to pull out the mango, shake it so that when we're finished mixing the mojito, we can try the mango. And if you're new to watching me or don't know, I always warm up my mixtures a little bit with like usually hot water. This is just a mini crock pot. It doesn't get super hot, especially when you leave the top off. So basically it just keeps my water hot instead of me having to keep getting up and getting hot water. Fresh actually bought it for me for that reason. It's been very useful. But anyway, the reason I do that is to warm up the VG because I do mix fairly high VG. And if I don't do that, I just find it nearly impossible to get a good, because like you can see, you should be able to see anyway. I don't know if I don't have my camera thing going. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. There's tiny bubbles all throughout. Yeah, there you can kind of see there. There's tiny little bubbles all throughout the mix, which is kind of what you want after you mix it up, because that means that everything's incorporating. You don't want layers, because if you don't shake it, if you look at your mix, especially if you're doing high VG, you can actually see the little streams of flavoring. And you don't want that, because if you get that and you vape it like just like that, it just tastes really bad. So yeah, what you really want is these little bubbles all throughout your mix, ideally. You can kind of see those little dots, those are bubbles. And then I just set it aside, kind of let it get back to room temperature so it's a little bit thicker, it like thickens up. So I thin it out and thicken it up again. That's just me. You don't have to do that. I know plenty of people that don't. Probably most people don't. I just find that it works for me. So that's what I have been doing ever since I started mixing. All right, moving on. Tobacco, yes. Tobacco is banned. Thank you. Huh? I'm actually drinking Monster. That's usually what I drink. Sometimes I drink coffee, but most of the times it's Monster. Brain is stuck in how you hang up flip-flops. Well, I said that because that's what I wear. Like some people say, like hang up their boots. It's a phrase. I'm sure you've heard of it. If not, it means like basically you're giving up or whatever. Since I mainly wear flip-flops, anytime it's anything remotely warm outside, even when it's cool, as long as it's not snowing, it's just more of an accurate, kind of weird way to use that term, I guess. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm probably not going to use Inawera tobacco because it just takes, to me, always takes too long to steep. And I don't have time for that. I'm not going to remember to check up on it in a couple weeks or whatever to see if it's anything decent. I don't know. I just don't have patience for that anymore. Mainly if I'm doing a tobacco or a cigar, it's going to be one of 3 brands. Used to be one of 2. It's either going to be Flavora. It's like one of my main ones because most of them are just good right away. You don't have to wait. Super Concentrate, which is from Bull City. It's also FE on eSig Express, Flavor Express. Because again, they're good right away, and across the board, they're pretty solid. There are a fair amount of brands out there that have decent ones, but they're very hit and miss. Like I know people told about Inawera having excellent ones. I can't even name one that I liked all that much, personally. But a lot of people do like them. Even TFA, there's a couple of them that a lot of people consider decent. But across the board, Flavora and the Super Concentrates or Flavor Express are solid. And then more recently, I've discovered that I do like a fair amount of flavor art. I had done single flavor tests on them years ago, back when it wasn't when I first started vaping. It was early in my YouTube days. But I've recently, and I don't know if my tastes have changed or I'm just trying different flavors that I hadn't tried previously, but I have found that I like a fair amount of their cigar and tobacco blends now. So I would put them up there. Mullenberry, I'm not too I do have a couple. Maybe we'll do that today, because I did get a couple of theirs. When I was testing for them, I tried a couple of like the blended ones, but I don't know if I've tried any of like just like the single, like the base raw cigarette or tobacco, whatever flavors that they have. So maybe we'll do that. I was going to do Flavora just because, like I said, they're one of my go-tos for that kind of flavor. But since I haven't really messed with the Mullenberry, maybe we'll do that. Because I know I got RY4. I think I got 1 or 2 other ones. I don't remember. It'll be a single flavor test. Plus recipe. because I'm not gonna leave it just at mixing the single flavor. What I might do is single flavor test it and then add to it, because otherwise I won't really know what I'm working with. That's the smart way to do it. Sometimes I don't do it that way, especially nowadays. I just kind of wing it and hope for the best. All right. We're almost done with this mojito. I feel like it's taken forever. Yeah, they're 15 minutes each of just mixing these because I go off on tangents. 9.27. And if anyone is curious, I used to do 5 ml testers, which is very small. But what people have to bear in mind is that I do weigh my ingredients, and I use a scale that goes down to pretty much the 1,000th. So instead of like the 10th or the 100th, like most scales go down to, mine goes 1 digit further. So basically it's able to weigh fairly low weights because it's supposed to be a jeweler's scale. The downside to this is if I wanted to make a big batch, I have to go back to my original scale because this only measures up to, I know it doesn't do 60 mil. I can tell you that. I usually can do 30 mil, but not much more than that. So I don't know. I don't remember the exact gram cutoff, but it does have a cutoff. All right, so mojito is mixed. So we're going to go back to this mango and hope that it's good. I also have passion fruit over here from yesterday. This is Yellow Passion by Vape Train, which I forgot about, or else I probably would have incorporated that into the passion fruit mixture as well. But this one smells really good, and I feel like it would go well with the mango because mango is very tropical type flavor, and so is this passion fruit. So maybe we'll add that to this mango. I don't know. Yes, I have Persian lime. It's what I used in the mojito. I can't tell how delayed chat is because I haven't been paying attention. So anyway. So this is the mango. And for those that weren't here when I mixed it, this is a alcoholic beverage that I had at bowling yesterday, which is essentially mango, grenadine, 7-Up, vodka. I didn't add any vodka though, because I don't like any vodka flavorings that I've tried so far. I think that's it. So what I used is 0.5% of grenadine, 1% citrus soda for the 7-Up base. For mango, I used mango juice by Vape Train at 1%. And then to boost the mango, I added Nectar Peach by Mullenberry at 2%. And then to add a booze note without it being vodka, I added 1% of pink champagne. So it's going to be more of like a mimosa type thing, like a mango mimosa, but whatever. As long as it tastes good, that's really all I'm going for. Yeah, I've heard that before, that flavor art tobaccos do have like some consistent note in them. I've also heard that about Flavora, at least from my dad. He says they all have a note in them that he doesn't like. He's very picky about everything. Why is everything tasting harsh to me lately? Might need to add cooling to this just so it's not harsh. It's not super harsh, but it's definitely... I hope I'm not able to not vape, or I hope that I'm not unable to vape regular mixes now that I've started using cooling so much. because I feel like that's what's happened. Because literally like everything since I've been using a lot of cooling has been harsh to me. But I did use peach, so it could be the peach in it. I don't know. It's very annoying. So I add some cooling to it. I'm getting more lime out of this than I wanted. Probably from the citrus soda. I didn't think it was going to be that prominent. So I'm definitely going to have to add another mango because I'm not... The main note should be mango. I don't mind if lime is in there in the background, but it's not supposed to be a primary note. I love sugarcane in teas. I don't know that I've tried sugarcane in anything yet. It's kind of why I wanted to try it. Plus, I was hoping that... I don't really know what they were going for with the sugarcane. If it's just sweetener, hopefully not, because that's boring. Like, they already have raw sugar. That's pretty much just sweetener. I was hoping for more of like that grainy, woody kind of note that you get from sugarcane. So I feel like that would go well with the mojito. But we'll see in a moment. Actually, I'll pull that out right now. It does not take long for this crock pot to do its magic on this sample. Like, you can see how liquidy it becomes. Just makes it easier to shake, so you don't have to shake it for like 10 minutes. What cream goes with mango? Flavora cream goes with mango. I mean, I could add a cream to this, but it's supposed to be a beverage, so that would be kind of odd. But just in general, Flavora cream is kind of like my go-to to mix with something like mango. It really depends on what you're going for. Ice creams would probably pair with mango well. Something with not a huge buttery note, though. Like a more neutral than ice cream. Because a lot of ice cream flavors, at least in my experience, or in my opinion, they can have a really strong buttery note to them. Like Liquid Barnes has a buttery note. I think Capella's does as well. I'm not a fan of theirs because it reminds me too much of something I don't like. I don't know if it's their vanilla custard. There's a note in it that reminds me of something I don't like, because I don't like their ice cream. Even whipped creams could go well. It really just depends on what you're going for. But yeah, I would probably go with Flavora cream. You can, like I said, you can add like whipped cream to it too. I've been really digging the one-on-one whipped cream. I'm probably at least halfway through it because that's one of the things I use in my peppermint mixture. And really, anytime lately that I've been needing a cream or whipped cream, I've been using it. It's really, really good. It just sucks because I think the only places I've seen it are direct from one-on-one or Vapor Supply, which is where I got this one from. Yeah, so the WS23 definitely helped with a little bit of the harshness that I was getting. Still mainly getting the lime note though. The good thing is the inherent note in the citrus soda that seems to be coming through very clearly should actually benefit us in the mojito. Not so much in this mango, but with the mojito it'll work because there's supposed to be lime in it. So I would probably back down to like 0.5% of the citrus soda or omit it completely if I just want the mango. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 1% of the shisha mango from Vape Train to this mango to hopefully bring out more of the mango instead of the lime. Other than that, outside of remixing it and lowering the citrus soda, I don't know if I can get rid of the lime. It's not bad with the lime in it. It's just not what I wanted. So you're going to put that back in here to think about what it's done. And then we're going to move on to this mojito and see how it is. I'm probably going to add cooling to it as well, because both of these are cool beverages. They're served over ice anyway. So technically, they're supposed to be chilled. But I am going to try it first without, just to see what it tastes like. It does have the fresh mint in it at a very low percentage, so I don't know if that will pull through any kind of cooling or if it's just the flavor of the mint itself. We shall see. But it's very easy to add the WS-23. I have it sitting right here, because eventually I will be mixing up more of my peppermint mixture. I probably should switch to something else, because that's my problem. I get stuck on something and then I have issues. But I don't really, nothing else is like tasting good to me lately. And that's the problem I get into, is I find something that I like and then I just vape that until I can't taste it anymore, which is not great. Oh my God, I have such a headache. I'm going to have to take a... I don't know what's been going on. I grind my teeth in my sleep, so I got a new mouth guard. It's definitely helped, but I'm still waking up with jaw pain. Like right now, like my jaw hurts right here, and it goes up through my ears. Not as bad as if I didn't wear it, or if I weren't to wear it, but it's still bad. So it's like, I don't know. And it's definitely from stress. So I guess the real fix would be to, figure that out. But I don't know, man. I've been debating seeing like a counselor or something. I just feel like every time I've gone to like a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, it never really helps. I don't know. And yes, maybe it's just I haven't found the right one. I don't know. I feel like there are some things that are just not for people. It's like maybe just counseling is not for me. I don't know. I don't know if it's, I haven't really been diagnosed, I don't think, with TMJ. I don't know if that's the same thing as grinding. I think it's one of the symptoms is grinding. I don't know. I know I grind my teeth in my sleep. That's all I can tell you. Like really bad, to the point where it's actually worn my, like I used to have sharp canine teeth. They're completely like flat now, which I'm mad about. I actually liked having sharp canines because I'm a weirdo. And it's also worn I had to get my fillings redone again on my back molars. And this is like the third time that they've had to be refilled. It's not a cavity again. It's just they're wearing because I'm grinding my teeth so much. Because like where I get grind, it like really impacts right here. So I don't know. Does my jaw lock up? No. The only issues I have with my jaw is that it hurts when I wake up in the morning. That sounds like really wrong. I also can't open my mouth very wide, especially when I'm having, I don't know, and some nights are worse than others. I feel like some of it has to do with how I'm sleeping, like my neck. Like maybe when I sleep oddly on my neck, it aggravates me in my sleep and I do the grinding more. I don't know. And I don't even know who I would talk to about that. It could be like a primary care physician or a specialist. I don't know. And I don't really know if there's anything else they can do. Like I already have a mouth guard. What else can you do outside of fix the root issue, which is stress, which is something I've dealt with, I don't know, heavily since my mid-20s. So about a decade. Anyway, so this is the mojito. Get a little bit of cooling, but I don't know if it's from like residual from the WS23 from the other one. I feel like it's not, because I did change the wick and everything, but it's possible. But I feel like the mint is giving it a little bit of a cooling. Long Island iced tea would probably be difficult because it sounds pretty straightforward, but there's like so many ingredients in it, a lot of which I don't think exist in the flavoring realm. One of which is soup. What is it? Something sec. Triple sec. I'm pretty sure that's in there. And I don't even know what the hell that is. And then there's like cola in it, which there's plenty of those. I don't remember offhand what the other stuff is, but there's a lot of stuff in there. So I feel like the mojito is kind of there. I do think I need to bump up the mint. And I definitely am going to add cooling to this. The lime note may need to be increased as well, but I'm going to leave it alone right now. So I definitely tasted in there. And mojitos are not super strong. They're more just refreshing. We can look at pina colada and then Long Island, just see what they're about. But I can't guarantee that that's going to be possible. For me anyway. I'm sure there's people out there that can do them. Maybe we'll search that, see if there's any recipes out there that exist. But I feel like that one would be very, very difficult. We're going to add another 0.25 of this mint. It's actually going to probably come out to more 0.6. No, okay, that's good. So it's literally just a drop. And then what else did I want to add? Oh, I wanted to add WS23. Now keep in mind, if you don't like WS23, I was big against cooling agents for the longest time. And then, I don't know, something just changed. And now I have become quite a fan of them, especially as of late. But you can totally omit it. You don't need it in here. It's just something that's like sweetener. You either add it or you don't. It's your preference. So you're going to add that back in the pot. We're going to take the mango back out. I'm going to try that in a minute while we're waiting for it to thicken up again. I'm going to look into the Long Island, and I feel like there's tons of pina coladas out there. That's a very popular drink. I think the challenge in stuff like this is just finding a good alcohol flavoring. Because for the longest time, you really didn't have them. But Vape Train is known for specifically for having good alcohol flavoring. So if you haven't tried them, I would definitely give those a go. The only one that I have tried that I wasn't thrilled with was the Russian vodka. But number one, I'm not a huge fan of vodka these days, so that can be part of it. And number two, I mean, of the ones that are available, it's still probably the best one that there is, if there's even another one out there. There's another flavoring company that I've heard has good ones. Maybe Flavor Monks, I think is what it's called. But I haven't tried any of their flavors, so I can't tell you. I also don't know who has them. Probably Vapor Supply, because again, they seem to have all the obscure brands and whatnot. All right, so Long Island iced tea. Oh my God, there's so much in here. Um, yeah, this is not good. I'm not gonna be able to do this. It has vodka, white rum, silver tequila, gin, triple sec, simple syrup, lemon juice, and cola. So number one, that's way too many alcohol flavorings, I feel like, to vape. Because again, I'm not a huge fan of vaping them in general, but to have that many, I personally would be, it would be impossible for me to make that taste good to me. I also, again, don't know what you could use for triple sec. And I also don't know who makes a tequila. I'm pretty sure I don't have any. I'm sure one exists, but I don't have one. So triple sec is a strong, sweet, and colorless orange flavored liqueur. So I guess you could try using orange. I don't know. Maybe that's something I can tackle later once I'm able to ponder it a bit. But getting that to work is going to be not easy at all. Let's see. Long Island tastes like drunk to me. Yeah, because there's like every alcohol imaginable mixed into something, and then you put a little bit of cola on it, and that's it. I mean, I don't mind them. It's not something I prefer, but I mean, I'll drink it. So my brain is on the same level without TBIs. I don't know what that is. Sweet iced tea. Yeah, I mean, there are sweet iced teas I like, but you do have, I don't know how to say this nicely. Your palate is a little different than a lot of people's. Similar to mine, it's just we have several different issues. Tasting things, off notes, things of that nature. So I don't know if I could recommend anything to you. I mean, I personally like TFA's sweet tea. I like Capella's sweet tea. I think I've heard one-on-one sweet tea is also good. I haven't tried it, but I imagine you've probably tasted most of those and you get that note. But I also am not against floral notes. I quite enjoy them, so that could be why I don't mind them. I don't know. Oh my God. What mint flavor is the best? So far this fresh mint by Mullenberry is good. It's not picking up as like a Listerine or gum or mouthwash, that kind of thing. It's more, I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting is like a mint leaf type flavor, which is what I wanted. I've heard Inawera's mint or natural mint is good. For that one, you do have to use it very low. At least I do anyway. Depends on what kind of mint you want. It's hard to suggest things when I don't know. Because like I said, well, like most people say, taste is subjective. I know everyone hates that, but it's true. What I like, you might not like, and vice versa. I personally like Flavora's mints. Like the peppermint is what I've been vaping for the last month, at least. Some people like Flavor Arts. Theirs aren't bad. They're not my go-to though. I would probably stick with Flavora for like more of the candied mint flavor, if that makes any sense. Like their mints aren't very herbal. They're more candied. Anyway, pina colada. So, pineapple juice, diced pineapple, coconut cream, white rum, and ice. Mullenberry actually makes a pina colada. It does have a cooling agent though, so if you don't like that, then stay away from that one, but it's decent. I would still add stuff to it, but as a base, it's fine. Trying to find, I feel like there should be more ingredients to a pina colada. Would candy cane go good with Flavora boysenberry? I'm not big on mixing fruit and mint, so I'm not really the person to ask. I also don't particularly like Flavora candy cane. I got that one years ago because it was supposed to be a clone of, I think it was Halo's mint. And it wasn't terrible or nothing. I prefer Flavora's peppermint. I think it's a much better peppermint flavor, personally. Because if I want peppermint, I want it to be pretty bold. Not like mouthwash bold, but bold. And to me, the Flavor West candy cane, it tasted flat, if that makes any sense at all. Like there was no pop to it. Maybe mixed together with the Flavora peppermint, but I feel at that point, like, what's the point? All right, so light rum, cream of coconut, pineapple juice, lime juice. Why would you add lime to it? That's kind of weird. So it seems like the same thing across the board. It's just like rum, pineapple, some kind of coconut cream. So let me ask you this. When you say you don't like any pina colada that you've tried, what specifically don't you like? Because I don't know even where to begin if I don't know that. Because I feel like there's so many pina colada recipes that exist. To go with fruit. Again, for fruits, I would just take a cooling agent. I wouldn't add mint to it. But I feel like more of the herbal mints that I listed would go better with fruits personally. But again, it's a matter of preference. It matters what you're looking for. Are you looking for a candied mint that's more of like a gum flavor? Are you looking for a more herbal mint that's more of like the leaf itself? Leaf-wise, again, the Inawara Natural Mint or the Mullenberry Fresh Mint, those are the closest that I found to being more herbal, which is what I prefer for something like that. If you're looking candied, I mean, you could use anything. Like Flavor Art has tons of mints. They have a spearmint, their peppermint, I'm sure some other stuff. TFA's wintergreen actually isn't bad. That's the green mint, though. I don't know how well that would go with fruits. That's more of something for like an ice cream or something. But again, it's going to matter what you want. Most have a horrible exhale taste, but the inhale is somewhat on point. Yeah, I don't really. Maybe the cream is giving you the weird exhale. I don't know. Do you have any like examples? I just don't want to mix something up specifically for you, and then it's going to turn out just like everything else. When do we get to do fall mixing? I mean, you can mix. I'm not a seasonal vapor. I mix what I want. I do have a good fall recipe if you want to check it out. I don't know if you're going to have the stuff for it, but it's very fall, and it's a very good recipe. Dave from, ID10T, he loved it. If that makes it any more enticing, or credible, I guess. Gotta find it though. But it's very good. And I'm pretty critical of my recipes. I only tote about maybe a handful of them out of all of the ones I've done. So that should also tell you a little something. Oh my God. But in the Vixens, I know we do have some fall themed flavors coming up. I couldn't tell you exactly when, but I know we do have some. But for me, I'm not a big fall flavor person. Like I don't like pumpkin spice flavored things. I really don't. The only thing I like among those lines is pumpkin pie, and that's after you like smother it in whipped cream. But as far as like pumpkin spice coffee and creamer and cookies, ugh, disgusting. So that already rolls out a lot of the fall kind of theme. I do like gingerbread. So that's kind of like more of my fall type flavor. But here is one. Ironically, it does have pumpkin spice in it, but it's more gingerbready. So you can mix that one up if you would like, if you have the things for it. It's very good. And it's very fall. Also, I mean, Favora apple pie is a good one because like apple cider, cinnamon type things, that's really fall. Folly. But if you want, next time I mix, maybe I could try doing something fall. But again, with me not liking most of the fall flavors, I don't know how that would go. Let's see. I think it might be later on. So yeah, not this next episode or season or whatever you want to call our groupings, our monthly Mix and Vixens. This next month doesn't look very fall-y just by the pictures. Again, it's going to be up to interpretation. But the one after that has a fair amount of the more wintry, cooler month type themed flavors. So I don't know. The cap gingerbread is very good. It's my favorite gingerbread. I haven't found any other ones that I've liked personally. If you have Ginger Snap by Flavora, that may work. I won't really know, or I can't really confirm that because the one that I got, the Ginger Snap, was corrupted. Like it seems like all the flavoring kind of gathered in one spot because like I had this brown clump of what looked like flavoring, and the actual liquid part of it didn't taste much like anything. So can't really tell you what that flavor is supposed to taste like, but it might work just by smelling it. If you don't have that one, I don't know. I guess if you have a gingerbread you like, you can try it, but I would definitely grab the Capella gingerbread, especially if you like fall flavors, because it's very, to me, very fall friendly. All right. My internet is slow. Hold on. It was a pina colada from Vaping Watch. I don't know who that is. Oh my God, I have such a headache. I might have to like pause this and go get some ibuprofen because just talking is making my headache way worse. All right, so it looks like a company. So that doesn't help because I can't look at actually what they were doing. But we can try a pina colada, certainly. We can try it. Hopefully you have the stuff to do it, because that's another issue is like my flavoring. Like, am I going to be using stuff that you have? That's another potential issue. Pineapple wise, I'm pretty picky. My go-tos are pineapple candy by Wonder Flavors, Sugarloaf pineapple by Vape Train. I think there's one other one. What is it? Oh, Inawera pineapple. Those are the 3 ones I like. So I would use one of 3 of those. Do you have any of those? Because if I'm going to mix this specifically for you, ideally I'd like you to be able to mix it. If you, hopefully you DIY. I'm pretty sure you do. I've seen you a couple times now. While you ponder that, I'm going to re-wick yet again and try this mango again. And if this mango is still lime heavy, I'm just going to throw in the towel for now so we can move on. I definitely do not want to go over 2 hours today. I was planning on doing 1, but it's already 1 and I'm not done, so. The funny thing is it smells very mango-y. That's why you can't really always go on smell. Just smelling it, very like, that's all I smell is mango. But I also I added the shisha mango, so maybe it fixed it. I don't know. We'll find out shortly. You also have to do coconut. My go-to coconuts are from Flavora. Both there's regular coconut and sweet coconut. Vape Train desiccated coconut is good, but it's a very dry, more of like a flake or dehydrated coconut. Thus the desiccated, that's what that means. So I don't think that would work very well in a pina colada that's supposed to be very creamy and rich. I feel like it would dry it out, make it weird. So I'd probably use Flavora's coconut. I don't know that I like any others, because most of them taste like suntan lotion, which I don't like. Trying to think if there's any other coconuts I like. Oh my god. And if you do mix that up, Dimlim, let me know how you like it. Even if you don't like it, I want to know. Coconut. So I have, supposedly have Flavor Arts. I don't remember having that. I have white coconut by, I had white coconut by Capella. I don't know if I got rid of that though. I have a lot more coconuts than I have. We can also do coconut candy. That actually might work because it's like a creamy coconut. I feel like most people would have that flavor. So we can definitely do that. We also have coconut milk, which is supposed to be a coconut cream. So that might be good in there. I have fresh coconut by Purelum, which apparently I didn't like. So the notes say that it tastes like suntan lotion. So we're not using that one. Can I use Flavor West Yellow Cake to sub? Yes. It's going to make your wicks darker, as I'm sure you know. So that's what Flavor West Yellow Cake does. But as far as flavor-wise, it should be fine, because to me, those flavors taste identical. It's just the jungle flavors is cleaner. So it should be fine. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm going to need to take an ibuprofen because this crap is not. All right, well, if you plan on getting a starter kit, I'm just going to try to use flavors that you'll have easy access to. So going with that, I'm probably going to use the Inawera pineapple because I feel like that's going to be the most accessible pineapple. This is the only place the Vape Train is sold that I'm aware of outside of direct is Full City Flavors. I don't know where you plan on getting your stuff from. So we'll do Inaware Pineapple, which is like a pineapple juice. So it should work fairly well in here. We'll use the TFA coconut candy because it's a very easy flavor to get access of. And it's a creamy coconut, which should go well for a pina colada. Cream-wise, what can we do for cream? I would do Flavora cream. I'm trying to think if there's any other creams that would work. Yeah, RTS Vapes is not around anymore, I don't think. And they were actually not a good place to buy from because allegedly they had issues with their rebottling. Like they'd rebottle the wrong flavors and stuff. I don't know. There was some kind of issue with them. I don't remember what it was. So adding the extra shisha mango definitely helped. I'm getting the mango now. I'm still getting too much lime for what I wanted, but it's not bad. It's not what I was going for. So I definitely would I'd either take the citrus soda out completely because I feel like the pink champagne is going to do the bubbly thing anyway. So yeah, I'd probably just omit that. If you're planning on getting everything at one place, your bottles, your nick, your flavors, I would go with Heartland. The only problem is they only sell big flavors, like in it's 4-ounce bottles. I'm pretty sure. They're a good place to get from though, because you can get everything there. They're not going to have every flavor, but they have flavorings, nick, your bases, your bottles. I don't know if I said that already. Basically, you can get everything you need there, and it's free shipping over $50 if you're in the US. Whenever I need anything that's going to cost more than $50, I always get it from them because it's free shipping, and I hate paying for shipping. But if you're starting out, it's not really a good place to get flavors, because I recommend, if you're starting out, not to buy big amounts of flavor. Like you're going to want to do it low. I get like 10 ml samples, like the smallest you can get, because if you don't like that flavor, then you're stuck with 4 ounces of something you don't like. On top of the fact that also prevents you from buying more flavors, because you could have bought 5 to 10 flavors for that same amount you paid for like the big bottle of. It's wasteful. What you'll probably end up having to do is buy at least from 2 different places, because I don't know of any good place to get everything from. Maybe Nicotine River. What else? Maybe Liquid Barn, but I think Liquid Barn only sells their flavorings, which their flavorings are good. They're not my favorite, if I'm going to be honest. They do have good flavors. It's just, to me, it's not going to be rounded enough to buy everything from. I use Nick Select for my Nick. Ken the Vatic is good as well. Those are my 2 go-tos. Fresh is on the Liquid Barn channel, and Wayne. Chiba. I don't know who the other people are. Oh, that's cute. But yeah, they only sell their flavors. I'm looking at the Heartland Vapes DIY kits. DIY kit. Do. 5 30 ml bottles. That's cute. It's not going to be a lot of variety, though. I still feel like you're going to have to... I mean, you could always start there. It's good to start simple to see if you even like it. I like that they do the smaller. It's not as small as I would like, but it's better than the 250 ml that they sell their flavorings in typically. And at least it gives you the opportunity to choose your flavor. But it is going to limit you to only flavors that they sell, obviously. But yeah, that kit looks pretty good. Eventually, you will need to buy more flavors, but you can always do that later. And it almost puts you at that $50 mark where you wouldn't have to pay for shipping if you're in the States. So yeah, that's cute. Definitely research your flavors, though, as to which ones you want. And start simple. Like if you like strawberry, get a strawberry. If you like a peach, get a peach. Maybe get a cream. Fruits are typically the easiest things to start on. Desserts and tobaccos are a little more complicated. But yeah, I was looking at Nick River. Nick River definitely has more of a selection of flavors. They have a lot of variety. I never did it like a kit. I always bought everything separate because, I don't know, I like to control pretty much everything. So I don't like being given, because back when I started mixing, it was a very different situation as well. Because we're talking almost 10 years ago, if not 10 years ago. I know it was around 2010. So, kits, DIY kit. So this one's $60, and I don't think they have, well, yeah, they do have free shipping over 50. I think that's new. I don't know if it was like that before. I don't buy from them horribly often. You get 15 ml flavors, a lot of selection. See if they have the Inaware pineapple. Oh, they do. That's cute. Yeah, it looks like Nick River has, and they have Pure Nick, which is a good nicotine. So yeah, it seems like this one might be a little bit better just because you have more flavors that you get. So Dimlin is right with that. It's like $10 more or $15 more or something like that. But it does give you more variety of flavors. So that's good. It doesn't look like they offer syringes. So I don't know if that's something, I don't know how you plan on mixing, whether it's by weight or, well, it has a graduated cylinder. Oh, okay. So it does have more things. It's just you can't select, like there's no choice for them. So 500 milliliters of e-liquid base, nicotine, gloves, graduated cylinder, the needles, beaker, funnels. Yeah, so this has a lot of stuff. Doesn't have as many bottles. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so it looks like Nick River would be the better place to go. Just because of the variety. And it has a better selection of flavors. They both use Good Nick. Heartland has Good Nick, and so does Nick River. I'm just weighing the pros and cons. It's just how my brain works. But for what you get, the price is good. And since they have the free shipping, that's nice. I don't know. I'm really anal about free shipping. If I can get free shipping, I want it. I hate paying for shipping, especially if it's slow shipping on top of it. Bugs the hell out of me. So yeah, get you some Nick River. I don't know if they sell Flavora. Do they sell Flavora? Because what I could do is try to stick to flavors that only they sell. And that way you could get your pina colada and mix it from this little kit that you're going to buy. It doesn't look like they sell Flavora. They have a lot of Mullenberry. That's cute. Yeah, you definitely want to do something simple. Especially if you're making it yourself. Like if it's a recipe that you're coming up with. If you want to mix other people's recipes, that's fine as well, because they've already kind of done the hard work. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not you like their mixes. But pina colada is a pretty easy mix. It's really just coconut, your pineapple, and a cream. And then if you want a cooling agent, I don't know if you want it to be cool. I mean, it should be because it's a pina colada, but that's going to be really up to you. They also have Purelum. Purelum has a lot of good flavors as well. And they have WS3. I don't like the WS3 as much as the 23. Oh, and they have one-on-one too. One-on-one has a good amount of flavor, good flavors as well. This has turned into just like, what should I buy? I would stay away from Loran's. That's my opinion. I'm just not a fan of their stuff. They got Euro flavors. Capella, Bickford. I would also stay away from Bickford. Yes, Flavor West tends to be fairly weak. I'm not shopping. No, I'm not buying anything for myself. I have almost 1,300 flavors. I do not need any more. Plus, remember, like, I have no access to my funds electronically right now because my bank card was compromised. So I have to wait to get that. So even if I really wanted to, which I don't, I'm not buying anything. As far as your base, VGPG wise, hi. It depends on how you want your overall mix to be. If you are more on the high VG end, like you mix the 70-30, 70 VG, 30 PG, or 80 VG, 20 PG, you'd want to go with a higher VG base for your nic, especially if you vape high nicotine. For me, I vape so low. I'm at a 1 or a 1.5 typically. It doesn't much matter to me because it's usually not going to be an issue. But even for like my dad, he only vapes 6. But depending on what I'm doing, if I were to get like a high PG, sometimes it's hard to get it where it needs to be. It just depends. So 1.5 nic, you shouldn't really have an issue. I mix with a 50-50 and I'm fine. But the only issue with the high VG nic is hot spots. That's why I buy 100% PG nic, and then I cut it with 50, pretty much half VG when I get it. So it comes out to a 50-50. Only because when I was buying 100% VG nicotine, I was getting a lot of hot spots, which is basically like really strong nic in random places because it's hard for the nic to disperse evenly because it's a very thick base. But it's really going to be up to you. But since you're vaping such a low nic level, I feel like it really doesn't matter. I would definitely have a higher PG in there. So maybe a 50-50 would be cool. That's what I do. And you're always going to want to shake it every time, you're mixing to make sure that nic is distributed. It's not going to like hurt you necessarily. It's just going to taste real bad. And it's going to be very harsh, which you don't want. And yes, I have issues with PG as well, but you have to remember that you're going to be diluting that Nick with your base. It's only going to take up a small percentage of your entire mixture. So your overall PG is not really going to be compromised because you're going to set that in your little calculator and it'll calculate it out for you. All right. Oh my God, I hope this ibuprofen works soon. I don't even remember what I was doing. All right, so the mango mix is good. A little too heavy on the lime. I would omit the citrus soda. But other than that, it's pretty much where I'd want it. The mojito I haven't tried again, so... Ow. It's getting hotter. I still need to find like a tong situation to get these out because it does get pretty hot. And it's also better to store, in my opinion, the PG. Like if you need to freeze it, I just feel like it's better. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know how accurate that is. I just have less issues with 100% PG. The only way I would recommend not having it that way, or like doing a 50-50, is if you're high Nick, high VG. That's the only time it may cause issues. I would recommend getting a 50-50 or 100% PG, but that's up to you. Because keep in mind, when I get my 100% PG, I'm cutting it with 50% VG to make it 50-50. I just get the 100% because I'll get 100% strength or 100 milligram. And then cutting it also brings it down to 50 because I like to work with 50, not so much the 100. Just, I don't know. I'm weird. So I just cut everything. All right. I don't know what you're asking. So for example, if you're going to Nick River, it has an e-liquid base. You're going to want to get one of each. The option is PG and VG because you're going to need both. The liquid nicotine section, I would recommend getting, so it doesn't give you an option. It's just either PG or VG. Doesn't look like it does a mixture of them. So what's the difference with, I don't know what I wouldn't get salts. That's just me personally. I would not get salts. I don't mess with salts. So if the only option is just 100%, I would just get PG. So it would be the 40 milligram pure Nic, e-liquid nicotine, 150 milliliter propylene glycol. It should be the second option from the drop down. And then your glove size is going to be proprietary to you. And then which style of bottles you want is going to be your choice. But that's just my recommendations. I thought they had, because a lot of times they'll give you an option of if you want like 50-50 or whatever. There's usually at least 3 different options. It looks like they only have 2, but whatever. You'll be fine. All right. So we're going to do this mojito. I don't know if you guys want me to do the pina colada or dumbass wants me to do the pina. It sounds so funny calling you that. Well, it only gives you that's the only bottle options that it gives you is the Gorilla. That's it. For Heartland, it does have a better bottle selection, but not as good of a flavor selection. See, with Heartland, it gives you the option of either 50-50, 100. So yeah, it has like the options I was talking about, the 3 different options, but flavoring wise, don't have as many options. So I don't know. I don't think you're going to find a perfect kit out there that's pre-built. That's why I am always extra and I always just did everything separate. And I ended up doing like my bottles and stuff from one site like my Nick and whatever. And then flavorings I just bought separately. But I think for an all-inclusive kit, Nick River is probably going to be, from what I've seen, your best option. It's not perfect, but it's what you got. But if you need to re-up your bottles, I do recommend Heartland. They have a very good bottle selection. And again, if you spend over $50, which when you re-up at some point, you probably will anyway, the shipping is free. And then if you really like a flavor and you want a big bottle of it, I have bought a couple of big bottles from them. They have that option as well. And you can buy your Nick there if you needed Nick. So, all right. What we could also do is wait till you get your flavors, and then I can do your pina colada. So then I know for sure what you have. But I definitely would recommend the Inawera pineapple if you like pineapple. It's a very good pineapple. A lot of people like Golden Pineapple by Capella. I wasn't really a fan. I bought a new bottle of it specifically for a recipe. So I'm going to give it another go, but I wasn't impressed with the flavor last time I tried it by itself. But the Inawera pineapple is very good. And I haven't found many people that don't like that one. So, TFA's pineapple is also good, but it's more of a candied pineapple. So it depends on, what you want. The Inawera pineapple is more of a real like pineapple juice type flavor, not really candied. It's also not as harsh. The TFA pineapple, it's not harsh as in like throat hit, but it's very strong and it's very harsh on like plastic, which most people aren't vaping in plastic tanks or whatever that will crack. But back in the day, it would crack your tank. But yeah, it sounds like you want Inawera pineapple. And I definitely would recommend it because that's what I would use in your pina colada. My favorite candied pineapple is the Wonder Flavors pineapple candy. That one's really good. Yeah, I've been vaping since at least 2010. I mean, it's hard to remember, but my ECF account goes back that far, so it's the only way I really know somewhat, but it's been a long time. And as you can see, I'm still alive, and my lungs haven't collapsed, and I haven't like started foaming at the mouth or anything like that. It's crazy. Are Gorillas these? Is this what they are? I don't know. I don't use them very much myself. I like the unicorn bottles. These are my favorite because they have the needle tips. I like those. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I already had quit smoking when I started vaping. Like, had already been done. I was just thinking about picking it up again, and that's why I started vaping. So it wasn't a huge, like, incentive for me to start vaping. And it wasn't really that popular back then at all. My dad had brought, like, a really old school one a couple years prior. I think it was 2008. It was really janky. But it obviously didn't work because he thought it was, he was like really excited about it, but then great. I don't know if you can hear that, but the stupid smoke alarm is off. So if I have to mute suddenly, it's because the alarm went off. And it's very loud. How do you like your new flavor organization storage? I love it. I absolutely adore it. The only thing that sucks is that not all of my flavors are organized yet. I actually ordered another shelf and it got lost. And I just haven't ordered it again. Ideally, I'd love to have them all in the shelves like that because it's so much easier finding my stuff. Like my vape train definitely needs some kind of organization because I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. The whole drawer is just completely full. And anytime I need to find anything from Vape Train, it's a pain in the ass. Flavor West, not as much because I don't have a lot of their flavors. But yeah, I'd ideally like to have them all like that. All right, so the extra mint and the WS23 pretty much got it where I need it. Like it tastes like a mojito. Yes, I had an HH357 as well. Might even still have it. I know I have one dripping cartomizer type thing. It might have been the other one that I kept though, because there was like two. There's like I think the Cisco was the HH357. But there was like another brand. There was two like main ones that people were using, and I did keep one of them. I also have a Bogue cartridge still, but I think it's in my other little drawer. I don't know. I'm sentimental. I keep things that I'll never use just because, I don't know. Like I have this. This is old. Is it this one? No, this is one Addie gave me. I have a clone Nemesis mech mod from years ago. These were like so popular. I'm not big on mechs, but I don't know. Sometimes it's like, oh, everyone has it, so I have to buy it type thing. And then I have my telescoping this thing. It's dirty as hell because the cat knocked it over. What is this? I Taste SVD. And you like can screw it out or in for like the different batteries. This thing was pretty sweet. I did like this one. But the center pin had an issue with a lot of them where it becomes too depressed and it won't pop back up. So you keep getting like no atomizer errors. Anyway. Yeah, the HH357, I didn't like it that much. I know everyone loved it, but I felt like the other one that was like half the price was actually better. Like I had a better experience with it, but even then I wasn't too thrilled with it. Like it was okay. I used it for testing like my single flavor test type thing because it was a lot better than whatever I was doing before that, which I don't even remember. But it still wasn't, I wasn't that impressed with it. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, so the finished mojito, I'm going to alter this to update it. So we bumped up the fresh mint to 0.5%, added WS23 at 0.75. Oh, I wanted to make it public, damn it. I'm going to make this public. I don't know about the mango one. I think I'm going to make it public, but I'm going to remove the stuff that I would remove from it. That makes sense, right? I don't think the citrus soda is necessary in this. I think the pink champagne would be fine. I would do the WS23 in this as well. Just because it is supposed to be chilled. And I feel like it does add something to it. Oh, and I also added the shisha mango. 1%. So yeah, I'm going to make these both public, and then once they're published, I'm going to put them in the chat, and then I'm going to bounce because this headache is brutal. And now my throat's getting dry from talking so much on top of it. I don't feel like this ibuprofen's going to kick in anytime soon. Probably should have done that before, but it's like the talking is what really accentuated the headache. Trying to think of what other old stuff I have over here. I have my tugboat. I made a whole video on the debacle of this thing. This is the V2. But it was the first RDA that I genuinely liked was the tugboat V2 with the slam cap, which actually was tunified because the center post got all screwed up. So I sent it to him, and he added a new one. So I think it's the only type that's like this, but it's got actually 4 posts. It's only supposed to have 3, but he put a dual post in there, so it's got 4. I don't know if you could see that. They all are supposed to have posts that look like this. So that was tunified. Come on, focus. It's not going to focus. Whatever, you can kind of see it. And then the slam cap. This was my go-to forever. Ended up getting a really good deal on it too, because I guess the short story is I ordered a tugboat V1 because they were on sale really cheap. Because these things were expensive, especially back in the day for an RDA. And I'm very cheap. So I got them when it was on sale, but then somehow my order got super screwed up. I think they just lost it. So they ended up sending me the V2, which at the time was like new and like full price. So I ended up getting a V2, new tugboat V2 for the price of the on sale V1. So yeah, and then I ordered the slam cap separately. And I feel like this white thing is also something that I bought to add onto it to make the, I forget what these are called. It was like donut something. I don't remember. They were very popular back at that time, but they basically went around your 510 to make it not as hot because obviously this is all metal inside. So having like this layer of kind of insulation helped with cooling it down. I think that's the only older type thing I have over here. And then this thing, the Mad Hatter Mini, the finish on it is terrible. You can see it's all scuffed up. That's why I hate like the overlaid, like the paint overcoat thingy. So annoying, but these things were like super in. And I did like it. It was pretty cool. Yeah, Chuff Tip. That's what it was. But why do I think of donut though? Maybe it was the brand. Something donut. I don't know. But it wasn't a Chuff Tip, I don't think, because it literally like goes around the existing, because like that thingy, the top cap, the drip tip was built into it. Like I don't think it was in it, like where you can remove it. So it was like it literally just went over the existing drip tip instead of like, I don't know. Maybe it was called that. It's very possible. All right, so we're going to put our mojito recipe over here. And Mango Bliss over here. This version of the Mango Bliss is what I would change with it. So it's not what I actually have. Again, I just removed the citrus soda because I don't think it's needed. It's too much of a lime note. And then I added the shisha mango to it to bump up the mango, which you might not even need it since the citrus soda is removed, but I don't see that it would hurt it. So I'm just going to leave that in there. What else is it going to do? I don't know if water is going to help the headache. This is like from grinding my teeth. But definitely, I'm pretty much done with my Monster anyway, and that's when I switched to water. So either way, that's going to happen. But I don't think it's going to help all that much. But yeah, I think we're going to table the pina colada for now. Dumbass, if you get your flavors, we can revisit it. I would definitely pick up TFA coconut candy and the Inawera pineapple. Both of those should be available at Nick River or most places that you would order anything from. For the cream, you'll need some kind of cream. I don't think it necessarily matters which. We can kind of just figure that out. But if you want it, we can revisit that. Because again, I don't want to be on here. It'll be another at least half hour. And this headache is brutal. So I think we're just going to revisit it when you get your stuff. Because at least then you could be able to mix it. And we're going to keep it simple. Probably just 3 flavors. The cream, the coconut, and the pineapple. It doesn't need to be crazy. You could always, extra it up later. You may need a cooling agent if that's what you wanted. But that's something, again, that can be added later. I don't know that they have WS-23 at Nick River or Polar. Well, they might have Polar Blast. Polar Blast would work. And they have flavor arts, so. Yeah, they have Polar Blast. So if you wanted, you could grab that. I don't know how. Some people are adverse to or have an aversion to cooling agents. I was one of them for the longest time. So again, it's going to be preference. Oh, pina colada has booze in it too, though. It has rum. I don't know how important that is, but you could get the Jamaican rum by Flavor Art. We could also start with a virgin pina colada. That's kind of just the base without the alcohol at first. I don't know. It's up to you if and when you want to do that, but we can revisit that later. But it should be very simple. You just need the right coconuts. Like the off note you could be getting might be from the coconut as well. There are a lot of bad ones out there. So depending on what they use, that could be the issue. I don't know. But definitely try to do as much research as you can with these flavors. You do have a lot of selection though. So you have 15 different flavors. But I would avoid Bickford. I wouldn't get anything from them. And Loran's. That's just my suggestion. Because I'm pretty sure Bickford is just like food level flavorings, and I've not heard anything good about them. And Loran is kind of hit and miss. Some people love them or certain flavors from them. I just find them all to be very lackluster outside of the watermelon. Their watermelon I do like, but they sell Purelum here, and I would definitely recommend Purelum watermelon above that one. So to me, there's no reason to get it. But those are the 2 brands I would recommend staying away from is Loran and Bickford, just because I just feel like they're not good quality. As far as Loran's, it looks like they're using all the colorless ones. So as far as safety, I don't know if that's necessarily a concern. As far as I know, like the issue was mainly the flavoring or the colors that they were using, but it looks like all of these are colorless. So they might be okay. I don't know. I would just stay away from them. Like I said, to me, they're not good quality for vaping. I'm sure they're great for what they're intended to be for, which is candy, but when you have so much of a selection here, you have Inawera, Flavor Art, TFA, Capella, Purelum. I think I already said that. I don't know. There's no reason to get them. Oh, oils. I would think that none of these are the oil-based ones. If they went out of their way to do the colorless, I feel like they wouldn't be doing the oils. And the flavors I'm looking at are mainly fruits. So I think that part of it's fine. Like they have banana cream, Bavarian cream, blackberry, blueberry, bubblegum. Maybe the ones that are ostracized. The ones that have asterisks on them. Maybe those are the ones that are, have the nasties in it, because they do have a couple of ones like that. But they are noted. I don't see anywhere where it explains what the asterisks are. Yeah, I don't see where it explains that. But I'm guessing the ones that have asterisks are the ones that are potentially not the best. Basically, the ones that have the diketones in them. I'm trying to see if I know if there's one specifically that's ostracized. I don't even know if that's a word. That definitely has stuff in it. Let's see. Yellow cake, maybe? Yeah, yellow cake has no asterisks, so maybe it's not that. I don't know. Maybe it's ones that have shipping issues, because some flavorings have shipping restrictions, so it could be that. I don't know. I'm going to get out of here. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, put them in the comments. And like I said, dumbass, if and when you get your stuff and you want to give the pina colada a go, just let me know. But definitely, I'd recommend getting the Inawera pineapple and the TFA coconut candy to start, if that's something eventually that you want to make. And I feel like both of those flavors would do well in other mixes as well, because that's also something you have to keep in mind, is when you're buying these flavors, you're not probably going to want to just mix one thing with those flavors. You're going to want it to be diverse enough to where you can do this and that with them. So those two flavors, I feel like if you like pineapple and coconut, you can use them for other things as well. So I grabbed those two. But anyway, check out Mix and Vixens tonight in about 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. It's the judging episode. We're going to have ID10T, Fresh, and Folk Art on, and should be very interesting. Other than that, with the whole flavoring debacle that's going on, the only thing is I can recommend that might actually do anything, you can sign the petition that's going around for the White House. I put it on my Facebook page. There's questions about whether or not petitions do anything, but it definitely can't hurt. So just do that. I would recommend. Share everything that you can share on Twitter. It seems like a lot of things are going on Twitter. And then, reach out to your, what do they call it? Basically the lawmakers in your area, your government, local government people. But yeah, just try to stay optimistic, not blinded, but optimistic. And that's about it. Bye.